Hello, I'm Wendy Wilson, and I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Realizing Potential. Today, I have with me a noted alum of Albany State University who is certainly made an impact in post-secondary education and also the area of the arts. She is a native of Albany. And then also, I have a really dear friend who is just the queen of creative arts, in my opinion, very biased, Dr. Elizabeth Delancy. And then how did I miss the name of this noted alum? Miss Bummi Anderson, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. I probably didn't say your name because I knew when people saw you on the screen, they're like, oh my gosh, it's Bummi.
Well,
I'm so glad to have you ladies on the show today. Tell me something good. What's going on? Boomy, let's start with you. You have returned to Albany State and you are in our,
yay.
yay, you are teaching for us. What classes do you have under your umbrella, ma'am?
I have English level 101 and English level 102. In the fall, I think I'm teaching the first part of African American Lit in addition to, and I'm teaching 1101 for University College, I think, and a support class.
Oh, wow. Well, good. I'm
Yes.
glad to know that we are keeping you busy here and glad
Yes.
you returned. And I know you had stayed in post-secondary education space, but it's good
Yes.
to have you back home. So, Dr. Elizabeth Delancey, what's going on in your world, ma'am?
Everything as usual and nothing at the same time. Just trying to keep it all balanced.
I think
Yes.
that's everybody.
Woo. Yes. Just
Yeah.
gearing up for, the summer, the health literacy symposium, which we spoke about earlier. And then also my summer dance camp for youth. Yes. That's
Okay.
coming up on the 12th of June. It
Okay.
begins.
Great. And is there still an opportunity for our young people to sign up for that camp? Or is it full?
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay.
Absolutely. What's wonderful this year is that I'm partnering with the city of Albany. And so they will be paying for students to participate in the camp at Albany State University West Campus. It will be for 2 weeks. And it really is more of an introductory course for ballet and for West African. I'm working with this really awesome sister, Alicia Cuttings, who I believe is originally from Massachusetts, and we will be partnering in this endeavor. And she will be exposing the students to a little bit more of West African dance than, perhaps they might, come across in the Albany area. So I'm really excited because I feel like those two techniques are kind of the cornerstone and everything kind of falls in between. So much of West African is the foundation of everything that we understand and popular proscenium dance, the proscenium dance space, like jazz dance, hip hop, of course, contemporary ballet borrows so much from West African forms, whether they know it or not. And then, of course, I like to teach ballet. That's, one of my first loves because it is often the weed out technique for auditions. So, it's like you have to know ballet to get in the door, but then you have to have a lot of understanding of polyrhythms to stay. So I think we're covering the continuum in our partnership.
Excellent. Well, I certainly do know Alicia, and I'm so glad that you are finally collaborating. So I'm going to tell Boomy to close her ears because I'm just going to be consistent today. So you all are my third interview that I've had today. I'm sure some of the viewers like, didn't she have that on before? But I share that for a reason. So my first interview that we did earlier, probably I think it was about 10 o'clock this morning. It's a great performance that's coming to Albany, and it's kind of an ode or celebration of Zora Neale Hurston. So one of the
Wow.
people that I was interviewing, yeah, June 18th. But she was, highlighting, Zora Neale Hurston's amazing portfolio and her career. And then she went on to say that she was a member of Zeta Phi Beta sorority. So
Mhm.
I shared with her, I said, all the wonderful things I love about Zora Neale Hurston. And I had always wished in the back of my head that she had pledged the right sorority. Then we go into, just then we go into the next interview. Boomy, you will love this. She is also a product of Albany State University. I have to make an introduction. Really phenomenal young woman. She's working in enrollment management, but she is the author of two poetry books. And so I
Okay.
interviewed her, yes, Kennedy Tiller. And then so our producer, Connie Williams, also said, when did you know that Kennedy is a member of our beloved sorority? And I said, I did not know, but I should have known. And here we are today with Dr. Delancy. And then, of course,
Yeah.
the point that I'm trying to make is also a member of, shall we say it? Shall we say it? We shall say it. Alpha
Don't
Kappa
do
Alpha
it.
Sorority Incorporated. I am just teasing. I had to tease you. But anyway, we are going to get back on point. I do know she's an amazing artist. And so I'm glad that you all are able to, or were able to finally collaborate. I've got to come and observe some of those sessions. I dare not try to get
Indeed.
on the floor and turn it into comedy hour. So I'm glad that that's taking place for 2 weeks. I know it's going to be so enriching for the students that are going to be participating.
Yes, I
Yeah.
hope so. I really do. And the goal is, if they are really interested in continuing dance, and again, it's just for 2 weeks,
Mhm.
it is a habit of parents to inundate their children with a lot of activities.
Mhm.
And I think that that's good because it helps them to figure out what it is that they want. But,
Yeah.
I'm an advocate of once you figure out what that thing is, you don't need to do a lot of things. You need to pick like one or two and do them well. And
Hmm.
so I think it's always good to do a movement thing and a music thing, or,
Okay.
something like that, some kind of balance, so that the parent one is that running from here and there.
Mhm.
And then that the student or the child really gets a chance to absorb the information because being bored is okay. It
Mhm.
really is. It is okay because it gives you downtime. It allows you to process information. And I feel like we're an age of oversaturation.
Sure.
And I feel that it really is impacting our students. So if we could get this group 7 to 10 years of age and then get them hooked on dance and then get them to focus in. I think that that would help them not just with, their career aspirations and
Mhm.
coordination, but it will help them focus. I think that dance in particular, of course, I'm biased, but I'm also telling the truth. It helps with everything.
Yeah.
In dance, we are the embodiment of all of STEM, and we incorporate all of the visual and performing arts, so we are all of those things. And so I think that that's a really great way, particularly today when, students are trying to grapple with, how best do I communicate, so it works on, nonverbal communication, posture, deportment, all of these things, confidence building. And processing. My goal always when I teach a class is to provide different combinations for each class because it's toning the brain, getting the students thinking quickly, critically, holistically, all of these things that I think are important. And because they're in that age of, 7 to 10, there are a lot of things that are just opening up and an awakening. And I think this is a really good time to start thinking about training. I know that even though I started dance at the age of 5, skipping and things like that, I started training at 7 because I think that's when we have that mental capacity to really absorb materials. And so I'm really hoping that this age group and the young people that do join, and this is a camp for boys and girls and however you identify, all open. And like I said, the city of Albany, those kids who are taking part in the city camps, those who are interested, they will come to the West Campus location. And then also for the students, the repeat students, they have a way of registering with me through my application form. So it's going to be a mixture of community members in the class. But I hope that is the goal. That if that dance bug bites them, and there are enough, we will continue through the fall and the spring.
Oh, outstanding. I look forward to that happening. You brought up an excellent point, and I wish someone had given uh my at the time my ex-husband now when we were, our kids were involved in all these different activities, but that advice about do one thing and let's just stick with that. I do believe and understand that exploration is important, But years later, now our daughter is 26, and just earlier this year, she says, why didn't you all make me stick with dance? I would have preferred to stay with dance instead of doing this and the gymnastics and all the other activities that we had her in. Well, now you say something at 26, but it would just, yeah, you could just see it all over her face, like she just would have been, the next Misty Copeland or Judith Jameson. You should have. But anyway, but I agree with you, because you can become frazzled just running from this event to that event, trying to, find whatever their calling is. And but there is a loss that occurs in that, just sticking with something for a period of time to make that discovery. And as you said, and so through the creative arts, as we've learned, so many areas of development also occur.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you for that. I know it's going to be absolutely huge. Miss Anderson, what is going on in your world in the creative space, ma'am?
Well, it depends on if you're talking about me individually, personally. But what we're going to be doing, Renaissance Connection, is, our 501c3, and I say our because I still speak in terms as a female is here.
I understand.
And so 501 our Renaissance Connection, our arts organization, was doing the Jazzin the Quarters.
Yes.
We did that for a number of years. Of course, when the pandemic happened, we have not started that back up as we knew it before the pandemic. However, Dougherty County approached us, Dougherty County government, asking us to do a outside event for jazz. And so what we'll be doing on June 25th at Robert Cross Park, we're going to do Jazzin the Park. And so we're going to be doing that event on behalf of Dougherty County. And so we're gonna have a few jazz groups, and people can come out. And of course, Dr. Delancy is on our board, so of course she can also talk about it. But we'll be people can come out. We'll be on the event center side of that park. The park is out on Lily Pond Road. I think Lily Pond is turning Lily Pond by the time you get to the park. Okay. But MLK/Lily Pond Road. And so we'll be out there outdoors. People can bring their chairs, lawn chairs, bring their own drinks, because it's probably going to be a little hot. We will have food trucks will be there as well.
Oh, great.
So we'll be doing that for the citizens of our city on June 25th. So we'll be
and it's rain or shine.
Oh,
rain or shine.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's on a Sunday evening, 6 to 8 p.m.
Oh, nice. That's nice.
So we'll be doing that for our fellow Albanians.
Well, what I really love about
South Georgia.
Though,
yeah.
Well, yes, but please note though that when we were approached as an organization, one thing that was mentioned was that this was also going to be dedicated to Femi Anderson, because she has contributed so much to Dougherty County, Albany, Georgia. And so, and most of us know how much she loved jazz. And so this is also a nod to her contributions to the artistic landscape and improving the quality of life here in Albany.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And I know we all are singing in a as a choir in unison on that, and her impact continues to still be felt. Those that know me and have been in my home, I collect art, and I have a couple pieces that she either recommended or I can directly tie to being in her presence. And so, of course, so sorely missed. But what I love is just her memory still lives on and is still being treasured. And it's still, she's still alive in that regard.
Yes,
so that's one thing that I want to make a point. So I love that the city of Albany recognized that. Did that earlier year. Thank you so much, Phoebe. I know that I formally was able to do that on behalf of Dr. Frederick and the plan committee for the MLK, because she was recognized and many of her works were on display. And so we were just so honored to do that, and understand that you all will be continuing on with that at the beginning of the new year. So excited to hear about that. The other
And thank you
part,
so much for that. Thank you
oh,
so
it was
much
no, thank you.
for
The
that.
thanks goes to you. And it was such a privilege to be able to see her body of work because of course, the painting piece, but I had forgotten about the photography piece. Why? I don't know. I forgot
Yes.
about that. Because you would always see her with a camera in her hand. But
Right.
beautiful pictures of her travels to Ghana and her ability just to capture beautiful faces and despite the condition or the moment that they were experiencing. So
Yes.
just an amazing, amazing talent. But what I also love that you all shared is the sense of community that comes from the arts and through jazz music and in the
Yes.
park and all of that. Everybody knows I'm a native of Detroit, and I grew up with that. There were different ethnic festivals, and they still occur every summer. And each week we had, one focusing on ethnicity or a particular group. And in fact, I'm going back to Detroit this summer for one, but I love that you're doing that. And again, we've missed so much in the last 2 years, and to be able to come
Yes.
together with something that, again, permeates us in terms of our development, because we know the impact of music and certainly the impact of jazz music. So, do we get a little
Yes.
teaser in terms of some of the artists that will be performing? Or are you all keeping that?
Well, we have three, right? We three that we're
Yes.
in the process of inviting, and so we haven't, executed those contracts yet.
Oh, okay.
But
Right.
we already know that they will be crowd pleasers, and there's
Okay.
one I believe that is an alum. Is that correct, Bummi? I think so.
I think so. I believe
I
so.
think so. Yeah, an alum of Albany State University. So
Okay.
the goal is to have three amazing groups, jazz groups, perform. And it's going to be phenomenal. And I can just imagine what the sky is going to be like. God willing, it doesn't rain, but even if it does, the sunsets are just so beautiful, and that with a breeze. And let me add that the county will be spraying, for insects. So that will help with our enjoyment. We will have fewer gnats and mosquitoes. But I do recommend bring your spray anyway, but that's going to be a big help. We can't really say the names yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we know they will be crowd pleasers, and that they will be familiar to jazz lovers.
Oh,
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. And
we're hoping.
Oh, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
And we're hoping. Well, we're hoping. We our plan is to in 2024 to bring Russell Malone back. We've already spoken with him. He wants to come back, and so that's one of the things we're definitely going to be doing next year is to bring Russ Malone home. That was a big deal for Femi that she was able to pull that off.
Yeah.
And so we want to, and he wants to come home. He's called me several times over the last 3 years.
Okay.
Asking about, I want to come home and perform, and so we're working on that for 2024.
Outstanding.
Right. So he won't be here this time, not this summer.
Won't be here for this, right? But we are working on him for a big event.
Good.
In 2024.
This is just a teaser. This is to wet the palate and get everybody engaged and all of that. Yeah. And I know the events that you all would host. I remember the one at Cheehaw, and then you all went to the municipal. Was that where Russell Malone was? Was he at the municipal? Yeah.
Yes.
That was a really great performance. So yeah, this is just to, reinvigorate the community.
Right.
In preparation for his return. He did an amazing job, and I know many more to come. I'm huge jazz fan and have plans to go. In my mind, I have many husbands in my mind. George Benson is one, so I'm looking forward to going to see him in Vegas later on this year. So
fabulous.
Okay.
Yeah, this will get me prepared for that. So I look forward to attending. What we also need to put out there is no cost. This is open to the community.
Right. Free.
It's up, and they can expect maybe about 3 hours of entertainment. 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yes. 6 to 8 p.m. So the usual time, right, for Jazz and the Quarters, so it's the same time frame. So it's after church, so there's no excuse. Come and
Get your
enjoy
nap
some
in,
Sunday
your church
jazz.
nap in.
Right.
Okay. I made it 3 hours in case we have some encore. Come on back after.
Right.
Well, that's
Right.
yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah. But
so
it's going to be wonderful.
good deal. Good deal. Well, I know, Bummi, just the your personal loss, but certainly the community felt it as well. So I am so delighted that you are carrying on this amazing tradition that you and your lovely sisters started, and you had a great team with Renaissance Connection. So
Yes.
to hear that we've taken, I know you had to put it on pause for 1,001 reasons, because oh my gosh, we just got through a pandemic. Let me just say that I've been hearing some other disturbing news out in the about this whole pandemic thing, and I'm like, no, 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 no. So I don't want to speak it into existence, but we are going to say, in the theme and the spirit of health literacy, let's continue to be proactive in our wellness and our care and taking necessary precautions. So, but again, thank you for continuing this and this collaboration with the city. And for
the county, with the
I'm
county.
sorry, the county. My apologies for Dougherty County.
Yes.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, Dougherty County is doing. Just super excited about that. And I want to end on this note. Thank you for your commitment to the arts, because we know just through the changes throughout the country as it relates to the offerings from the state and certainly at a federal level, that the arts are the first thing to be whittled away, if not totally eliminated. So it was just a standard when, we were growing up. I'm probably the oldest on the call, but just that was just a part of our curriculum, K through 12. It was normalized, and now that's an exception, in some instances an anomaly, for a student to be able to regularly engage in that. And then if you come from a household where it's just it's not affordable, then that's a whole nother dynamic. So for these offerings, to be made possible to expose people, hats off to you both.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
You're welcome. So give me those dates again, Liz. The camp, it's not too late to sign up for that. How can
Correct. Yes. And so on the flyer, you'll see a QR code that you can scan, and it will lead you to a jot form, quick application. And that camp begins on June 12th.
Okay.
And it ends on June 23rd.
Very good. Very good. And Jazz in the Park, Miss Anderson, is
Sunday, June 25th, 6 to 8 p.m. at Robert Cross Park. Will be on the event side, the event center side of the park.
Okay. Come rain or shine, but we are already
rain or shine.
Lots of shine. Lots of shine.
Free.
Yes. And the heat is not consuming us. It'll be just a lovely evening.
Indeed.
Good deal. Good deal. It's always a treat to see you both. Bummi, again, welcome back to Albany State. Thank you so much for all of you that you do on a day-to-day basis, both of you in terms of engaging our students in that classroom space and being major contributors to their overall development. So come back anytime that you would like.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for this edition of Realizing Potential. I'm Wendy Wilson, and I look forward to seeing you next time.